Hello, everybody, and welcome to Black Talent TV's Be in the Talk. My name is Simone Jackson. I'm your hostess with the mostest, here to bring you guys another great episode, of course, of Black Talent TV's Be in the Talk. We are a podcast that has engaging conversations with influential guests in the entertainment business. I'm really excited for our today's guest. She has starred in Animal Kingdom. She has starred in Lucifer. She is an actress and writer, and I'm really excited to have her on here with us, Miss LaFonda Baker. Hi, Miss LaFonda.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you doing today? Thank you for being on here today. I'm really glad you are with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. I'm enjoying this wonderful California weather. How are you?
Envious because it's rainy over here in good old Seattle, but I'm glad it's beautiful in California. I am really excited to start off and kick off this interview with you. But I just want to start it off with the first question, Miss LaFonda. Can you tell us what began your passion for acting?
I had an interest in acting since the third grade. I basically was in a play where I was a really shy kid, and I was in a play where I basically was the tree, and I had to hold up a picture of the tree. And when I saw the other kids, in center stage actually running lines and talking, I realized that's something that I wanted to do. It wasn't until I was about in the fourth grade that I started doing a lot of public speaking stuff, and sixth grade where I started acting in plays for my school, that I realized that it was something that I had more of an interest in than I thought. And by the time I was a senior in high school, I asked my drama teacher if it was something I could realistically do. And when he told me it was, that's what I majored in. And here I am now.
Oh, wow. But hey, that's actually pretty great, though. I was reading on about you when your passion that you studied with acting coach Brett Rickaby, right?
That's right. Brett Rickaby was my acting coach. Yep. It was a really incredible experience working under him. He's a working actor as well, and he plays some of the craziest villains I've ever seen. He was in like Dexter and the Crazies and things like that. And he really encouraged me to really tap into my emotional stuff more often, instead of just kind of holding back. And I will admit that I was one of those actresses, because the emotional stuff was so easy for me. I would always try to stifle it because I didn't want to get emotional all the time. And he basically encouraged me to relish in that. And that's basically what I did. So he was a really amazing coach to work under. I wish I could still work under him, but like I said, he's a working actor, and so that's what he's focusing on right now.
That's incredible. He was on Dexter. That's one of my favorite shows, huh? I must have not have recognized him. I watched Dexter religiously, but that's pretty incredible, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the episode where Dexter was getting ready to kill this guy with glasses, and he looked kind of creepy, like he was about to pick up some kid in the car. And then he realized that he wasn't really like a killer, and they became kind of friends. Yeah, that was my acting coach.
Are you serious? No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, I have to tell my mama about that. We love Dexter. We watched that religiously. Her mind's going to be blown. I can't wait to tell her about that.
Yeah, it's such a cool show.
So, as I mentioned before, you're on the show of Animal Kingdom. Can you tell us, for one, how'd you become involved with the show? And what's it like, being on the show Animal Kingdom and working with Alan Bergen?
I got involved with the show. I got really super extra juicy lucky because my manager basically sent me an audition notice for Animal Kingdom. To be honest with you, like I said, I never saw the show, so I never heard of it before. And that's the downside of not watching actual television when it comes on. So I didn't know the show even existed. And so I basically, did a Google search to find out what it was about. And when I read what it was about, I was like, dang, this sounds really good. And I auditioned for the role of an officer, which is basically my type, this straightforward kind of hardened police officer. It's funny because I played a police officer on Lucifer as well. But it was just a couple of lines, and I was really lucky because the writer, Jeff, I don't know why his his name is passing me right now, but the writer, producer, and director of Animal Kingdom was in the room, and he was basically the one who hosted the auditions along with the casting director, and I'm sure some of the other producers for the show. So I got really lucky in that sense because I didn't have to like do it for tape and then they send it to the producers because the producers were already in the room. And when I auditioned for it, you know, it's funny because everyone was like talking and laughing and, you know, being so thankful to be auditioning, you know, for the casting director and, you know, just really engaging with each other. And I was just super stoic because I get kind of freaked out at auditions. So like the best way for me to handle them is just to be like quiet and just focus on like my lines and who my character is. And so that's pretty much what I did. And I went in there, I did my thing. When I left, you know, maybe about a week later, I found out that I got the part. And I was super excited. You know, it was a co-star role for network television for TNT. So I was super excited because every time an actor gets a role, especially a role like that, you know, we can add it to our reel and add it to our resume, and it just helps us get more work. But the most wonderful thing happened after I shot my scene with Ellen Birkin the first day on set. Another actor came up to me and he was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, Ellen really likes you." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, how do you know that?" And he was like, "I overheard her telling one of the producers, or it was a director, it was someone, like, I really like her." He was like, "You know, you might end up coming back." And I was like, "Oh, that would be like a huge blessing. You know, you never know." And I didn't think anything of it because you never, you know, there's no way you can't control anything in this industry. You can only control yourself. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I prayed on it. You know, I did some manifestation stuff, but other than that, I just basically let it go. And then I told my manager about it, and I felt like she kind of like, not that she didn't believe me, but she just was just like, "Oh, that's nice. Well, you know, it's rare for, you know, you to get called back." And I'm like, okay. You know, of course I wasn't feeling that answer, but I was like, whatever. Like maybe a week and a half later, if not 2 weeks later, she calls him back. She goes, "Oh my God, you're right. Like they called you back. Like they want you to do another episode. Like you're officially recurring on Animal Kingdom." And that just led to other episodes. And I've always been really thankful because Ellen Barkin has been so incredibly sweet, professional. She's always said really kind things. Like I've overheard her myself tell a director, like, I really like her. And the last time I worked with her, you know, she gave me a hug and she was like, "You're my favorite." Like she's just such a sweet lady.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's incredible because, you know, she and I haven't talked that much. You know, we've shared lines on set, but other than that, you know, I get really withdrawn when I'm on set. I get really introverted because it's a lot going on. And I guess like that shy kid comes back out. So I don't do a lot of talking to a lot of the other actors. So for her to come to me and, you know, say these things to me has always, you know, been really, really sweet and encouraging. And even just watching her, you know, I'm one of those people, like when they're like, "Okay, you can go back to your trailer," I kind of stick around, you know, because I want to see what else is happening. And just watching her, you know, do her thing on set and run her lines and be as amazing and legendary that she is has been a treasure.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I think I would have passed out if I heard the Ellen Birkin, you know, compliment me to a director, which led me to being on the show more. Oh my goodness, that is awesome.
Right. Yeah, it's been wonderful. John Wells, that's the name of the producer director. And the last time I saw him, I gave him a hug and told him thank you because, you know, if it wasn't for him and his team writing Officer Thompson in, you know, I wouldn't be on there. So I'm just incredibly thankful to John Wells as well as Ellen Birkin for, you know, allowing me to be back on set time and time again. It's been a wonderful experience. I've learned so much.
Absolutely. And it, you know, it's obvious that she sees a gift and talented in you because, you know, she said to the director, you know, "I really like her." Obviously she sees what a talented actress you are. And I just think that's great because she, you know, is so established herself. So she sees such great talent in you that has really got to, you know, encourage you and just surge you more, you know, because you've got someone like Ellen Birkin right behind you, believing in you.
It definitely does, you know, because, you know, when you go on set, especially if it's only been your first few times, such as in my case, you know, you can be a little nervous and you just want to do everything just right.
Of course.
Not so perfectly that it becomes like a bland performance, but you definitely want to be professional and polite and you don't want to, you know, mess up what the crew and the directors are trying to do. So you want to make sure you do your part correctly. So to have her like be happy to see me when I've come on set, to give me a hug, to give me encouraging words, or even just to have me overhear her giving encouraging words about me has been super encouraging, because I haven't had anybody of that caliber do that, for me. So it's definitely been a gift.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think that's incredible, really. And I would just faint with just absolute just astonishment if Ellen Burke could ever compliment me like that. I would.
Yeah.
But just to play off that a little bit more, Ms. LaFonda, you used to be on Lucifer as well.
Yes, I had a co-star role on Lucifer. It was just a one-day thing, but it was it was really cool. Lucifer is actually what started off everything, because that was my first co-star role on television, and usually you have to get that one, so that people can believe in you and actually get you in for more auditions and actually have you on set. So it's almost like having like with an agent, it's like you have to have credits in order to get an agent, but you have to have an agent to get credits, type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So even just getting that one credit as a co-star credit has been such a gift, such a treat. And it was funny because when I auditioned for Lucifer, I auditioned for a completely different part. And it's great because the audition actually went really well, but they didn't choose me. They chose a man, because I did end up seeing that episode. And it's funny because he was perfect for the part. But I guess they liked what I did so much that they called me in for a different episode and a different role. Still a cop, but a different role. So I was really honored that they even gave me a shot and, suggested me for something else. I didn't have to re-audition or anything. So that was really cool.
I would love to, I haven't checked out Lucifer, but I would definitely love to check out the episode that you were on, because I heard it is a refreshing, great comedy show. So I definitely would like to check it out, especially your episode. Anybody, that's got glowing compliments from Ellen Burke, and all their work needs to be seen on a global scale. That you can't get a bigger endorsement. So I'm just saying, producers, director, this woman needs to be on a global scale, roles bigger than what she can ever dream, because you got that talent.
Oh, thank you so much. I received that. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to continue on, as an actress, LaFonda, what type of roles do you gravitate to?
I honestly gravitate towards the sad stuff. Anything dramatic. No, say it again.
I said, you're honest about it.
Yeah, I love drama. My favorite genre to watch are thrillers. So anything where someone's going through it, they're angry, they're sad, they don't even have to be like crying, but just where there's a lot of emotional, they go on an emotional journey, anything like that. That's my heart. Like, I love that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is easiest for me to do. But lately I have been trying to tiptoe into the comedy world a little bit more. I've done sketches in the past, which has been really cool. I've written some funny stuff. I actually submitted to it was like NBC's diversity showcase, and I actually wrote my own like comedic scene and submitted that, which was like one of the bravest things I've ever done. Just putting myself on tape doing comedy and then actually submitting it was like huge for me. So I've definitely been trying to round myself out a little bit better, because I know that, in real life, we've all experienced where everyone's like, you're so funny. But then when you are doing scripted stuff, something happens and you're not funny. So I'm definitely, I'm definitely working on that part of it. Yeah.
I find it interesting that you say that the sad stuff is easier for you than the comedy. I would think that the comedy might be easy, just because of the sad stuff, you gotta learn, especially, are you one of those actors that can cry on cue? Can you cry on cue?
Yes, I am.
I'm so envious, because I've always wanted to know how an actor master that. But that is interesting, though, that you said the sad stuff is easy, because I would literally assume that the comedy stuff, because, but I guess because being funny is a bit more difficult, because, like you just said, you gotta, when it's scripted, you gotta sound like it's organic, or it's not gonna be funny.
Right. With comedy, it's a lot about timing and pace and just being creative. You know, a lot of comedians are really good improvers. I think I know we give comedians a lot of credit, but I feel like in a lot of ways we don't, because they're so incredibly talented, and most comedians are good at both. If you look at people like Jim Carrey, even if you look at Kevin Hart, like Kevin Hart can do a serious thing very well. You know what I mean? They're very layered. A lot of comedians are deeper than they seem, and some of them even darker than they seem. And so it's really, it takes a lot of talent to be able to make people laugh and time everything out just so, and still be natural and not seem like you're trying to be funny. Like, that's a lot of work. So definitely working on that. But yeah, they deserve all the credit.
That is such an interesting tidbit. But yeah, I actually kind of agree with you on that. And it does, to be a comedy actor and a comedian in general, it is tough. So for them to be able to do that, with comedic time and everything, oh yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, who would you like to work with director-wise that you haven't done so yet?
I would love to work with Justin Simien. He's the director for Dear White People.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That'd be great.
He reminds me so much of Spike Lee. Like, Spike Lee is one of my favorite directors of all time. I think every actor on the planet wants to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
But and I do too as well. But Justin Simien, he reminds me of Spike Lee, and he also has like this interesting, fresh take. And I don't know, like, there's just something about his work that really resonates with me. And so he's definitely one of the top directors that I would love to work with one of these days.
That would be great. Yeah, like, you're right. Yeah. I've been following his work since Dear White People, and you're right. He does have a fresh, unique, and different take on a different perspective, and I really like that. And I think also, if I can give out my suggestions on directors I would love to see you work with, I think you would be a great fit for Dee Dee Reese. I think you guys would make a great, since you like sad films and all, I think you guys would be a great, perfect fit for each other, honestly. I think that is girl power that is waiting to happen.
And you said which director? I didn't catch the name.
Dee Dee Reese from Mudbound.
From where?
Mudbound, the Oscar-nominated movie Mudbound.
Oh, Mudbound. Oh, my God. Yes. And it's funny you say that, because I was thinking about Mudbound the other day, like, really? Daydreaming about that. Sounds weird, but I was daydreaming about that movie and how cool it would have been to have a role in that. So it's funny that you say that. I didn't know the director's name. I should be ashamed, but yes.
I should be ashamed.
I should know better. Yeah.
That was great. She said I should be ashamed. I didn't know that. Yeah, I just thought you guys would be a great fit because, you said you like, sad roles, and she's, becoming such a powerful, female director. I just see magic right there. So I really hope one day you guys can work and collaborate on a film together, and I just think that would be awesome.
No, thank you. I'm loving how you're speaking this wonderfulness into my life. Thank you so much.
Speaking into the truthfulness, because if it happens, if you do become a movie with her, we here at Black Talent TV demand the interview first with you guys. We call it the demand first press interview.
Of course. I would say, she spoke it into my life. You guys have to do this interview. Yes.
Absolutely. So, what future projects are you involved with that you can just give us a little bit of a tidbit about?
It's funny you ask. I don't have any concrete projects right now, but what I'm working on right now is I'm actually working on training for voiceover work.
Really? Tell us about that.
So basically, I've always had an interest in doing voiceover work. I think every actor, no matter how serious you are, if you want to make money in this industry, has dabbled into commercials in some regards, such as I have. I'm currently training right now with Killian's commercial workshop, which is really exciting. I'm one of those actors that love to train. Like, I'm really weird about it. Like, I'm like, oh, a workshop, yeah. So I'm currently training with Killian's for commercials, and I just started. I just did my voiceover orientation with SAG-AFTRA. So now I'm going to start doing their classes, which are free to SAG-AFTRA members, which is such a wonderful blessing, and just kind of like learn as much as I can through them before I do eventually get a voiceover coach and, get a demo reel together and things like that. But I would absolutely love to do commercial voiceovers, animation, and audiobooks one of these days. So keeping my fingers crossed for that.
That would be great because you definitely have the voice for it. I definitely see your voice for commercials. Definitely.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask because, I haven't really had anybody doing a voiceover work or trying to train for it. What is the process that goes into training for voiceover work?
To be completely honest with you, I'm such a newbie that I don't know yet. I signed up for 2 classes that are coming up this month, so I'll find out more about it. But from what I've learned from the past workshop I went to, it's so much that goes into it, especially for people who, which I'm sure all voiceover artists have their own home studio. And just editing your own voice or getting it mastered and then putting it together and then sending it to whoever the client is. Like it's so much work that I didn't know. I didn't know that there was so much work that went involved with it. It was to the point where I was like, is this something I want to take on? Because I'm already doing, my own acting stuff and then the commercial stuff. And I'm like, do I really want to go through the process of learning about voiceover work because it's so much work? And then I realized it is, that I would be excited to learn more about it. I'm just going to pace myself a little bit more with the voiceover work than I will like the commercial work and, the theatrical acting stuff. I'm definitely going to pace myself a little bit more so I can take more time and learn more about it. But it sounds like it's a really intricate business. And I want to respect it the same way I would want people to respect, regular acting or commercial acting or anything like that. So I have to take my time and learn. So I honestly don't know a ton about it yet, but it's definitely a lot to it.
Oh, yeah. I read that too. There's definitely a lot to it. It's not as easy as people, would presume it to be.
Right.
So
Right.
It definitely is a lot of work, but it is interesting to see where that's going to take you, especially with commercial voiceover, maybe animation. So that's definitely going to be interesting. And I definitely can't wait to see, if we see or hear actually your voice in commercial or animation. So that's going to be interesting. I can't wait for that.
Thank you. I think one of my goals is definitely to do an animation and completely change my voice and just be able to have like that character next to my face and be like, I did this voice, so that's definitely one of those exciting things that I look forward to one of these days.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So just to continue on, as not only do you are doing, commercial work, you're acting, you want to do voiceover, but I also read that you are a writer as well.
I am. I've had the pleasure of working with some really funny people, and we've written sketches together, and I've been in a few sketches. And I also write a lot for myself and for my future self, meaning, I write like scenes that I want to do. I've written short films, stuff that I know I'll probably never do, and stuff that I know that I eventually do want to produce and put out there one of these days. So I definitely keep up with writing the stories that I want to see myself in, because I think that's incredibly important. Some people are really great at writing and then just, filming it and putting it out there. But I admit that I'm one of those actors that's like, what is the word? Like, I'm nervous about collaborating with people only because I don't want to like start and then we stop and it doesn't happen, or we start and then like I have to make all these changes to something I've written, that type of a thing. So I definitely want to put my own team together that I trust and love and really start putting that stuff out there. But I write a lot.
She said, I write a lot. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if, once you get a team together to see what you guys can create of, because, yeah, I definitely understand the collaboration part, the nervousness, if you start something and then the middle, something happens in the middle and then you got to stop and it doesn't start back up again. Yeah, I definitely get that. But, hopefully you can get your own team together and be able to continue to hopefully be able to produce and get your writing in the forefront and make it into films and stuff. That's what I'd love to see that.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. So, final question for you today, Miss LaFonda. Um, your passion for acting, you told us about that, but can you tell us what actresses actually inspired your passion for acting?
Yes, I would love to. When I was younger, I was super obsessed with Angela Bassett, as everyone else was,
Mm-hmm.
and also Zoe Saldana. She was, one of the young actresses, one of the young serious actresses that I've seen on the scene. Like ever since I saw her in Center Stage, I just adored her whole life. So I would love to see more stuff from her. But right now, I'm just super in love with Taraji P Henson and
Oh,
Viola Davis.
yes.
Yeah, those are my two ladies. Like I just love them so much. I love their personalities off screen, and I absolutely love the characters that they've played on screen. I mean, literally, when I saw Viola Davis play Antoine Fisher's mom in Antoine Fisher, I knew I wanted to be like her. And it's crazy because, she wasn't a huge star yet. But like I said, I was always drawn to that kind of acting, like the
Mm-hmm.
dramatic, the stuff that really touches your soul type of acting. And so when I saw her in that, I knew, right? I just knew. I was like, I want to be like that, just like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so now Viola Davis is a household name, and it's incredible. I love watching How to Get Away with Murder,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
I just adore her. One of these days, I want to play like her niece, sister, daughter. I don't care. Like I need to be working with her like every day. And Taraji P Henson, she's such a breath of fresh air. She has that combo that I think a lot of us Black girls have, where we are professional and then we're a little hood, So
Love
I
it.
think she embodies that, so well, and she's so funny and interesting, and she's so emotionally available. I love Taraji, and her story is incredible. Just how she got here, and all the hard work that she's had to put in, and just where she's at, and I can just imagine where she's going to go in the future. So, yeah, those two, Taraji P Henson and Viola Davis, those are my ladies. I love them so much.
Oh yeah, I am right there with you. We are Team Viola Davis and Team Tahaji P. Henson. I am those ladies can really make you feel
Yep.
whatever acting role they are in. I was able to see, Viola's, Oscar winning role in Fences, and I was just floored. I was like, I
Yeah.
already knew she's one of the best actors of our generation, but this role just cemented that. I mean, she made you
Yes.
everything. And then how could you not love Taraji P. Henson and Empire? She made Empire what it is.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that show would not be where it is without our crazy loving Cookie, honestly. So I can definitely see why you would want to, follow the career paths of these ladies, because, they're trailblazers, and, um, you will one day become a trailblazer yourself. So I can't wait to see that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you so much.
No
And
problem.
I look forward to seeing more of your interviews and how you rise in this industry, because you definitely do an awesome job
Well,
with your
thank you. I am trying so hard, working hard towards that goal. It's going to happen one day. I know. I know it
It
will.
absolutely is. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. LaFonda, I really do appreciate you taking the time and talking with us and our Black Talent TV audience, who I know for sure will adore you and support not only your writing and your acting, but wanting to get you in a movie with Viola Davis and Tahaji P. Henson. I'm pretty sure they will support that. You guys make sure you do. Make sure you also follow LaFonda on Twitter, and you can also follow her on Instagram. Make sure you follow her work on the big screen, small screen, whatever screen she's on. Make sure you follow that work, because she is definitely going to be a huge actress. And like you said, like we said, when she gets that role with Dee Dee Reese, they'll be here, press first, right here on Black Talent TV. We call it. We call it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. But again, Black Talent TV, my name is Simone Jackson, your hostess with the mostest. Remember, if you guys would like to advertise or come down and interview with us, make sure you contact us at info@blacktalenttv.com. Again, Black Talent TV family, LaFonda, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be back soon. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.